Oh yeah, it is Friday time. Oh, I think I might have a dodgy internet connection. If that's the case, I apologize if it's a bit lumpy. Connection is fairly good. If you're on Wi-Fi, well, I'm on Wi-Fi. Anyway, welcome to you wherever you are. If you're in Australia, if you're overseas, it might be morning for you here. It might be 8 a.m. where you are. It might be evening. But no matter what's going on, no matter what time it is, I hope you're great. We're going to change up the book today because I don't know, I'm getting a little bored. Actually, I love the book. I love the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. It's not like we're not going to finish it, but I feel like we can inject a little bit of energy into today instead. I'm feeling more energetic. I've also got this fancy new overlay that Nathan Riddington made for me. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. And yeah, I'm going to test it out today, see if it works, see if I can make that work. Um, all right. Well, I say, oh, there's lots of people coming in now. Good morning to you. Good evening to you. Feel free to say hi if you're so inclined. I'd love it to be an interactive session. Not going to spend heaps of time today. Going to do a half an hour book club. Mucking around with a new book. The book is why is it not showing up? That's interesting. That is interesting. Right, here it is, the 10X Mentor. So we're going to test it out. We're going to see if we like that as a book club and see if we can all grow together as a result of listening to it. Yeah, I hope you get something out of it. This guy's pretty energetic. He's got some pretty controversial views, but I can really relate to his background. He had a very traumatic, not traumatic, but he really went off the rails. And so did I. Oh my Lord, did I go off the rails. And what we're doing here, what he's doing now is he has like private jet, multi helicopters, blah, blah, blah. And he does, some people love him, some people hate him. So I'm not really attached to whether or not he's a good guy or not. But he certainly turned his life around and he was committed to turning his life around. Like, as far as I've gotten in the book so far, when he was coming out of drug rehab, the guys were saying, you know, the people who work there were saying, we'll see you again soon. Your type always end up back here. You're too driven. You're just going to keep going off the rails, etc. So, you know, so far he's doing pretty well. He kind of used that as a fuel. So let's have a listen and see if we get something out of this. Hopefully we do. And if we don't, that's fine too. We're definitely circling back to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Happy Friday again. Let's start listening.
Value and actually add value by increasing the offer to your customer. Toss out this idea that people only buy products and services or skills and expertise from the lowest bidder. They don't. Look, let's face it. Look at the things you buy every day. There's a time when you have to use a discount, financial discount, or free to build a customer base. And there's a time when you should not do it. I'll tell you about that later. But keep in mind that stuff people get for free could be a ticket, a book, event, free healthcare. Most of them don't even value it. Some of them don't even use it. For whatever reason, when they don't pay for it, they don't pay attention to it. Listen to me. When you don't pay, you don't pay attention. Somehow they just don't have as much invested because they didn't pay, then they don't find time. While the things that they pay a lot for, they tend to cherish. So quit doing the freebie. Quit doing the, okay, we're going to discount at $100 and suddenly you see the value. No, what you should do is add $100 worth of value. If you're going to give them something, give them something. Don't just raise the price, okay?
Morning, Hesh. Yes, it has been a week, brother. I'm switching up the book. We're doing a bit of the 10X Mentor today, Grant Cardone's book. It's actually probably going to have me requiring your services more, brother, because this guy's pumping me up. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome.
Okay. Extend the duration if you have to. Extend the offer. Bundle something. Build in convenience or speed. Offer a guarantee if you need to. But look, just offering a discount doesn't get it. Hey, how about a free follow-up for dental care? Okay, you come in, you get a cleaning, and I give you a second cleaning for free. Okay, because it's going to be a quickie. It's just a polish now. It's just to get them back in the chair. That will make a much greater impression, by the way, than a discount. Nobody is going to brag about the $3 that they save. They're going to brag about the extra thing that they got. Okay, number 3. Focus on what you can control. Ignore everything else. Things like government regulations, new laws, state of the economy, weather, the car wreck. the drama on TV, Kanye and Kim, man, look, just drop it. It's not in your life. Leave it alone. Ignore it. Hands full with your own stuff, okay? When it comes to your business, your career, focus on what you can control. Focus on your experience, the experience you deliver, the contacts you can make, the contracts you present, your skill set, your people's skill set. Quit focusing on everybody else. Focus on what you can control. Focus on how fast and reliable your delivery can be, and focus on being exceptional, not goof ups. Okay, number 4, fill your pipeline and then keep filling your pipeline. What do I mean by pipeline? I mean opportunity, prospectos, people that you can talk to. You're not going any place if you're not talking to people. Salespeople know what I mean here because that's what they do every day. But the rest of you, it applies as well. You got to keep a full pipeline. Small people, whatever the field of the career, are always trying to increase the size of the top of the funnel. The people who know you and are listening to you will determine how many people actually buy from you and or transact with you. Your ideas are going to be turned down or rejected in a favor of someone else's a lot. Trust me on this. If you close 10% or 15% or 20% in some cases, that's a massive number. It's 80% of the people you're not closing. That means the 80% you didn't get is actually a bigger opportunity than the ones that you actually converted. You can't.
This is really important. Like, sales is something that is all pervasive in life. It's like it exists in the marriage, it exists in parenting, it exists in obviously sales roles. The key here is that you can create a funnel. Like, if you're known as somebody who says yes to being a contribution to people, then you can have a funnel of being more of a contribution to people. Like, let's say you do charity work, okay? Then you can make yourself available to do more charity work and more charity work. Hesh is probably having a heart attack listening to me say this because he focuses on, well, actually balancing that out, right? But in my driven way of being, this really resonates. It's like, okay, I can establish a ground set of what I can currently achieve. And then I can create like a pipeline where I can cram more and more and more things in the top and ultimately end up with like a growing concern as a result. But it's everywhere. It really is. It's everywhere. Yeah, this is amazing. I'm playing this book while you're back.
Can't always turn a no to a yes, but you can't turn a yes into I don't know you. You understand? It's impossible. So I need to get people to know me first. So you must focus on filling your pipeline to reach more opportunities, to get more people to know you. People, once they know you, then they can trust you. People don't buy from people they trust. People buy from people they first know and then maybe trust. When I was 8 years old, my dad gave me a quarter. I think he wanted to get me and my brother out of the house. He said, hey, take this quarter, go down the street. This is when a kid could go to the store by themselves without somebody claiming that the parents were negligent, unlike today. My dad gives me a quarter. I'm super excited. My brother and I are going down the street. I'm whistling. I'm happy. And I'm playing with my quarter. And I can't wait to go spend this quarter. This is when a quarter would buy a whole bunch of stuff at the store. The next thing I know, my quarter up in the air. I miss it on the way down. And it drops and falls into a manhole. You know, those big holes that are in the street. So I lost my quarter. I couldn't get my quarter back. Okay. And I go home and my dad railed on me. Never play with money, never play with money, and never play with money. I thought he was going to whip me because that was the day of the belt. My grandfather grabbed me and said, hey, son, the problem isn't that you lost your quarter. The problem, son, is that you went to the store with only one quarter. And I looked at him like, He says, never go anywhere with one quarter. And for the last 40 years, I've been plagued with this conflict of lessons. Don't play with money or don't go anywhere with one quarter. I think you know which one I've chosen as of now. Now, most of you are not in sales per se, but again, at the end of the day, the more opportunities you have, the more you can afford to lose. You get the point? Don't worry about one quarter or one.
That's a direct correlation to Rich Dad Poor Dad last week, where you've got the poor dad saying don't play with money and the rich dad saying don't go anywhere with just one quarter. It's really obviously these conflicting kind of mentorships all around us, but it's interesting to find the common threads.
One lead get you 100 leads, and you won't have to worry about the results that you get. At the end of the day, everyone is in the sales and revenue game. No household can get away from the fact that you need more income and more opportunity. You and I are selling ourselves every day, if nothing else, convincing others simply to take a chance on us, on our ability to learn, to grow, to improve, to become a valuable member of a team or a company, to just simply be trusted by others with more responsibility. We're selling ourselves to our customers, patients, clients, colleagues every day. We're selling ourselves as we build a network of relationships. We're teaching our kids how to sell themselves at school and then later in life. Hopefully you're doing that. But we constantly selling ourselves outside of the business as well, as we are never selling ourselves more than when we are looking for a long-term relationship or a lifetime partner. Once you get the partner, trust me, you won't be selling him or her all the time, or they're going to be selling you. Look, I believe my approach to sales, I believe that the way most people have been taught to sell, keep in mind this is coming from who is considered the leading authority in the world on the sales game today. I believe that the approach that most people have been giving on sales is outdated, outmoded, uncivilized, barbaric, and doesn't work. In fact, why most people hate sales is because some of the BS tricks that people are taught in the sales game. The basic premise behind how to sell was created hundreds of years ago when people didn't know you by the car you drove, but by the horse you rode. Women stayed home to raise kids, and 90% of all Americans were farmers. To find out if you should buy a new appliance or tractor back that day, you asked your neighbor or someone who owned it what their opinion was. Hey, should I get a Caterpillar tractor? Yes, you should. It's the best. And many times, 50, 60, 70 years ago, there was only one tractor to choose from. Today, most people don't know their neighbors. Women influence or directly make decisions in 60% of all transactions, and they don't just raise kids. 77% of shoppers use online reviews to make a purchase decision, and most of us use the internet to conduct our research before we go buy. 40% of us today spend a bulk of our time shopping online. That did not exist just 15 years ago. Most of us aren't using our computers to shop today. We're using our phones and mobile apps. And too many companies haven't caught up with what has changed. Conversion rate, clicks that turn into sales on mobile shoppers are dismal. We're talking about less than 1%. By focusing on converting the mobile shopper into a buyer, companies can increase their sales by as much as 40% without upgrading staff, without lowering prices, and without churning their workforce. It's a no-brainer. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. But it does require you to think about sales and about a customer and about the interaction differently. It also means you must adopt this 10X concept. Creating a mobile app for your company, making the experience as appealing as possible, as easy, as frictionless, as like you're a graphics person, you need to know how to sell today. You're a coder, you need to know how the customer comes through the process. You're writing landing pages or websites. You're in marketing, you have to know how to convert a customer easy today to make it frictionless and fast. Sending somebody a simple confirmation order or information about when their product will be shipped. If you're working in shipping, you need to know how people buy and how to sell in order to actually exceed the customer's expectations.
I think it's really important because, like, I've already listened to maybe 2 hours of this book, but it actually has already dramatically impacted my business. And the reason for that is before I started reading this book, my plan was maybe we could have 100 customers join the company between now and the end of the year, our virtual assistant company. That would be a stretch for us. That would be really difficult, okay? But it would be possible. And then I read this book, and he's like, well, if you're thinking 100, you've got to aim for 1,000. If you're thinking 1,000, you've got to aim for 10,000. If you're thinking 10,000, etc., right? 10x. And the idea is not that you will achieve, but the idea is that you will probably fall short, but you will do a lot better and be in a lot more of a space of abundance, I guess, for having done that, you know. So what we did on the day that I declared that is 4 new customers came on board in the company, you know, that very day, all because I was like, okay, how are we going to get 1,000 customers on? So I hustled that day, you know, and I'll hustle every single day. Then I woke up this morning and I'm like, how can I get Macca involved, my boy, in helping me get 1,000 customers on. How can I compensate him? What can I do? So I'm waking up every day. This is on my mind when I wake up. Just how can I have 1,000 people join our company between now and the end of the year, which will help us hire 30,000 people over 30 years. That's our game. So yeah, it's a really powerful concept. I really recommend that you explore just thinking 10 times bigger, 10 times more than you're aiming for, and fall short. Who cares? Have fun with that. It's amazing. We'll continue on.
And if you're in business for yourself, don't be afraid to use the telephone. Increase the number of prospects or projects or ideas or customers or prospects that could be potential investors that you have coming in. Look, I've raised $1 billion over the internet without an ad budget. I've raised $1 billion. That's about $5 billion worth of real estate. Most of that has been done with simple landing pages, smart marketing, and having somebody pick up a phone and make a call out or take a call in. And most of it was done by using marketing ideas on free social media posts. The cold call has been the original stepping stones of sales and business. Okay, my first job was knocking on doors. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, can I come in and talk to you about something? I mean, cold, brutal cold. Most of the time, the first point of contact between you and the customer is not that cold, as I just described. But in many cases, it was unexpected, which I would also call cold. When I'm contacting someone that knows me, client, previous client, neighbor, somebody knows me, my twin brother. I could call my twin brother right now if he wasn't expecting a call. It's pretty cold. Some of you haven't talked to your family members in 6 years. Cold as ice. In fact, you might be better off calling a stranger. See, most of the time, the first point of contact between you and a customer, a client, patient, business relationship, maybe somebody you met at a party or in an elevator, it's cold. Now, some believe because of the internet that the cold call has lost their value. In fact, I had a very famous marketing person in my office, and he says, cold calls are dead. I'm like, bro, I did $40 million in income last year on cold calls. Okay, so if you think that's dead, I got something else for you, because 40 million is not dead. Okay. In fact, how many of you would learn how to make a cold call if it meant $40 million to you? I know I would. The fact remains, though, if you want to see your business grow or your department grow or your value to the company grow, whatever field you're in, you have to find a way to engage the prospect to get their attention. That could be calls, emails, social media, outreach, posts, personal visits, knocking on a door, advertising, publicity, direct mail, YouTube, Instagram, direct messages, live streams, Clubhouse. Who the hell cares what it is or how you got there? As long as you got their attention, you got a lead, and you now have generated an opportunity for yourself, your household, or your business. Too many people in businesses avoid these things because they're like, nah, I don't want to handle rejection. I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to be discouraged. Well, guess what? Your life will be a miserable disappointment and discouragement and a lifetime of damn rejection. Look, rejection is not an emotion. Rejection is simply a reminder that you've got too little going on. You're rejected because you're like, I depended on that one lead so much, I can't afford to not get it to convert. Now I feel what's called rejection, when in truth, you're just being reminded your freaking 1X thing ain't working. Rejection is an indicator that you have too little in your pipeline. Hear me out here. Rejection, the sensation of rejection, is an indication that you have too little in your pipeline. It shows you that something is missing from the funnel of opportunities, because you know if you only have one appointment today and you don't close that one appointment today, you're going home tonight with nothing.
Yeah, that's a good
Unfortunately,
point.
in America,
Like
most of us are fed. We get to eat every day and we take it for granted. If that was the way you ate tonight, I'll bet you wouldn't let that deal not close tonight. See, you need to look forward to rejection at times, because it will strengthen your inner fortitude to build your pipeline and opportunities out. The more lead.
I can really relate to that. I've never seen rejection as an indicator that you have too little in your pipeline before. I also have this, like, that applies to investing. That applies to every area. Like, okay, so imagine investments, right? When an investment goes bad, which happens to all of us, the bottom line is that it really impacts us when it's a large part of our investment, or there's no other investment going on right now. Like it really, it appears as much more significant. Whereas when there's a lot of investments happening and some of it goes bad, it's like, well, I've got other investments. So, it really is like I see that everywhere. I see, if you've got, like, I know some people who have very small amounts of friends, for example, like only one or two close friends, that's fair enough. That's totally fine. But, to them, being rejected by one or two of those close friends has a significant impact because there's not a lot of friends in their friend pipeline. So, I can really see how this works. And I definitely see it at a business front. We're so much less desperate for business now that we have a full pipeline of appointments. We actually sometimes even say no to potential customers because, well, we can't. Our pipeline's full. We don't experience that rejection feeling.
You have, the less you need to sell. The more leads you have, the more opportunities you have, the greater the opportunity for people to simply purchase from you. Whatever it is you're selling, service, product, tangible or intangible. Cold calls are simply another form of marketing. And once you become completely committed, 100% committed to 10xing your success and not being satisfied, you will quit with this entitlement bullshit. Lies that you tell yourself about, oh, I don't want to do cold calls. I don't do social media. Oh, I don't do Instagram. I'm just a Facebook guy. Okay? Stop the madness. When you're committed, you will do whatever it takes. You will cold call, door to door, direct mail, email. You will social media market. You will do whatever it takes to get the job done. And that is the difference between those that 1x and those that 10x. Old school marketing can be effective. You saw me do it in Undercover Billionaire. I did $94,000 worth of mattress sales in one day, and I never sold a mattress in my whole damn life. So here's what I've learned, if I have your attention.
I do that actually with clients. Like what I do is I try and sell one of their products myself. And if I can't sell it, then I know that something, because I do a lot of selling. All right, so I make sure that I can sell their product. If I can't sell their product, A, I don't think I don't think I can add value. But B, there's probably something going on with the way that they are pitching their product and marketing their product. So even if I've never sold it before, I should be able to kind of go down the street and sell one of it, put it on Gumtree, do whatever. I have a lot of things on Gumtree, and it's not because I'm trying to sell stuff and make a lifelong revenue stream out of Gumtree. Always be understanding and analyzing what people respond to, how to capture their attention. It's like this ongoing test for me. And the more diverse the products that are in there, the better, really. So I advise that. I definitely advise that.
And here's what I've learned about increasing sales. Number one, you got to commit to building out the top of your sales funnel. That's your leads, okay? How many prospects know me? I don't care how many people I know. I care how many people know me. The more people that know me, I want to walk in a room and be like, oh, he's here. See, I don't want to walk in a room and have to get to know everybody. I'd rather walk in a room and have everybody know me. Same thing on the internet or same thing in an Instagram post. Commit to building the top of your sales funnels. That's your leads. To providing your team with leads. I'm talking about leads that are easy. If you own the company, your CEO, your number one job as CEO of that company is to generate leads to the company that are easy to close. If your company is too dependent upon a great product or a great service, if your company's too dependent on too few customers, you have too small a customer base, and that will end in a disaster. You need to spend more time reaching out to new leads and potential prospects and or markets, or both. At my company, we don't focus on closure ratios the way some sales teams do. I don't care about the closure ratio. I care about the opportunities. We focus on increasing our leads, reducing the number of closes, believe it or not, increasing our leads, reducing our closing ratio, and increasing the number of people that actually transact with us. You get it? So if you look at 10 leads and close 5 of them, that's 50%. If I talk to 1,000 people and close 10% of them, I close double what you closed. So I'm going to expand the number of people I talk to, lower my closing ratio, and increase the number of people I sell. Okay? Recruit customers constantly to refer new customers to recruit more customers. Incentivize them if you need to with rewards or other products or services or credits at your store. Whoever spends the most energy and resources on building new prospects usually wins the sales war. Number two, the success of your business relies on your ability to provide solutions to your customers or client problems. But those that are apparent, and even more important, those that are unnoticed. For instance, I'll give an example of something that's not noticed. I write books. I heard that the 83% of all people that read books don't finish books. Well, that's the problem. That's when I reached out to Audible and said, hey, why don't we do a mentor program rather than me writing a book for people to read because they don't finish them? Why don't we deliver it in audio? Because the retention rate is better in audio. And number two, the completion rate is much better in audio. So you have to be aware of what the customer's saying is their problem, and also be aware of those problems or challenges, what they want and need that they may not be voicing. Number three, don't get antagonistic with your buyer. Don't challenge the buyer. Don't tell the buyer they're wrong. Just simply agree with them. You're right. You're right. You're right. There's no reason to make people wrong. When you make them wrong, they can't make you right. Number four, never send an email chastising or challenging a buyer. Same thing as be said about an instant message or a message. Never send emails or messages chastising or challenging a buyer. This is a violation of the sales relationship. You're in their corner. You're establishing a relationship. You're not trying to make them wrong. You're not trying to be right. You're trying to nail down a sale. Okay, so establish a relationship. Let them be right so that you can actually get paid. Number five, always agree with your prospect. And by the way, that can't just be, yeah, I got it. No, you got to get it. You got to listen to them, acknowledge them, look at them, tell them, yes, I got it, I understand. And then like, okay, now how can we make this work for you? Okay, because they can be right and still be wrong. You know what I'm talking about? Customer is always right? No. Customer's not always right. But doesn't mean you need to make them wrong. Number six, respond to every comment you receive. Do something to let people know that you're aware of their feedback. I appreciate that. All problems are opportunities. The sooner, by the way, on number six, you respond to a problem, the less of a problem it will become. The bigger the problem, the faster you need to resolve it and at least respond to it. Number seven, what if you're not getting leads? Look, if you're not getting enough customers, it lets me know I got to throw out more bait. I got to spend more money. I got to market more. I got to spend more energy or resources. When I was doing Undercover Billionaire, I didn't have any money. So what did I do? I stood in the damn street. I stood in the street with a sign. I tried to stop cars and push them in. Oh my God, Grant, we're breaking the law now. Hey, I'm not going to break my law of getting where I want to get.
So we're not going to listen to any more today, but this is interesting stuff. One of the key things I'm getting for myself, and I see it all the time, I have customers coming to me and saying, I've just spent 10 grand on Facebook, didn't get a single lead. I also did that last year. Spent 10 grand on Facebook, didn't get a single lead. I have clients who spent 50 grand, 100 grand, haven't gotten a single lead. And I'm not saying marketing is shit. It's not. But the thing is, marketing comes in all forms, whether it's cold calling, standing on the street, whether or not it's just coming up with special offers, whatever it might be. It's not spending money, putting money in someone else's hands, letting them spend their money and hoping that the floodgates will open. Like in my experience, first of all, it has to be sales. It's a sales platform. I think I've held this up before. Sales first, then profit, then order, then impact, then legacy, right? So selling first, and then I layer marketing on top of the sales so that what I get is something that's putting more people into the pipeline once I have an already effective system that I know I can get people's attention with. So, yeah, I'm wishing you an amazing Friday. Please know that selling is not just about selling products. All of this stuff is very applicable no matter what you do, even if if you're a vet who works in a surgery, this is applicable, okay? And I hope that you got something for yourself. If you didn't, that's totally fine as well. I'm going to be getting my team to listen to this. Yeah, if you want to send anyone along to this Friday book club, awesome. Hesh, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate your time. And I really recommend everybody that you reach out to Hesh because he's got a very interesting service that you don't hear about very often. So he's commenting on my Facebook. You should reach out to him and you should find out what he's up to because he's up to good shit. All right, everybody. Catch you later. Happy Friday.